Thank you very much, Joseph. And I would actually, object to one thing that Judon Levy said. He said that his speeches sometimes leave us much more pessimist. In fact, today, I can tell you, sir, that your speech is going to leave all of us very, very optimistic. Thank you very much. If there is one thing that all of us need, is a new discourse and new imagination. You said it rightly that all of us agree that the deal, or the so-called deal of the century, is actually dead, and it's a great insult to speak even about it, because every one of us realize why. Now, the most important question is, what is next? And let me, just in a few minutes, tell you how I see it from within the Palestinian narrative itself. Because we, the Palestinians, in 1967, before 1967, we established something called Palestinian Liberation Organization, not to liberate West Bank and Gaza. It was to liberate 1948 Palestine, historical Palestine. Now, after that, the occupation of 1967 happened, and new formula emerged, where the Palestinians accepted or started calling for something called democratic state on the historical land of Palestine, where Palestinians and Jews share land equally, share the land, and have equal rights and establish democratic state on that territory. Under the international pressure and regional pressure as well of some Arab countries, the narrative was altered. So we started speaking about a state, Palestinian state, on any liberated land as a beginning. Then that continued under very important factor. A, international pressure. B, regional so-called pragmatism. And practicalities that the Palestinian leadership thought it might help them to survive for another day. Within that, we found ourselves every few years reshaping our narrative and our demands and our imagination until we reached what we call the deal of the century. At least before the deal of the century started, we had issues. We had issues to speak about with the so-called peace process. The land, refugees, Jerusalem, and few other issues that we were negotiating, the Palestinians were negotiating, and they failed to achieve with the Israelis. Now, Trump came and he said, you know what, I'm going to resolve this. I'm brave enough to make a deal. Okay, let us go ahead and do a deal, and the deal is going not to be excellent for both parties. Each one of them is going to be upset about something and happy about something else. So, okay, fine, that's the deal, So we started speaking about the deal. While the deal was prepared, so Donald Trump asked, what are you disagreeing about? First, let us speak about the concept of occupation. Okay, let us redefine the occupation. So occupation is not actually occupation. So that's gone. B, we speak about refugees. Okay, what are the refugees? 5 million? Okay, let us redefine the concept of refugees. There are 500,000. So the concept of refugees, no problem. The 500,000, we give them citizenship wherever they are, and a little bit of certain kind of technicalities, everyone is going to be happy. So the refugees are over. Jerusalem, easy. We give Jerusalem to the Israelis. So an executive order was issued. We give Jerusalem to the Israelis. Golan Heights, simple. We give Golan Heights to the Israelis. The issue of settlements, now there is a preparation even to give the settlements or the land where the settlements have been established in West Bank to the Israelis. And eventually, Trump would ask, why everyone is upset? I have resolved the conflict. Everything is done. There is nothing issue. I mean, really, you have been arguing about Jerusalem, we resolve it. Refugees, you finish it. The land issue, done. So everything is fine. Now we make a bridge between Gaza and what is left of so-called West Bank, and then Palestinians can travel. We give them a little bit of job opportunities and few other issues, and then everything is fine. So in the logic of Donald Trump, that is fine. The logic of the century of the deal, that is fine. Okay, but I must remind everyone, This is a result of long process that started when we Palestinians also accepted to abandon our initial concept of one democratic state. This is what is happening to us. Eventually, it is evaporating. We accept it to be so-called pragmatic, realistic, reasonable, understanding international balance of power, accommodating regional rivalries, and so on and so forth, trying to survive, having leadership that is also trying to achieve certain kind of privilege and certain kind of economic advantages over others, and forsaking the initial concepts of equality and justice and the unity of the land. This is, yes, sir, we are in need for a new discourse and a new imagination. And this discourse and imagination should not be established on the basis that actors, political actors that I have mentioned, accept it at this moment in time. We, intellectuals, human rights activists, people of the world who stand for justice, should embrace it, should develop it, should have conversation about it, should have dialogue. People from all over the world should understand that once we have that kind of imagination and discourse built, then eventually we need to enforce it on the political actors themselves. But if we leave it for politicians to develop it, they will never do it. So it is much more important to be discussed. I share your views. We need this discourse. I do stand for one democratic state in the land between the sea and the river, where all of us as humans could live equal to each other and share the land. And there is nothing wrong in that, because this is what exactly going to happen one day. But we are prolonging the misery and the suffering of everyone in that territory, including the Israelis themselves, who very soon are going to see that they are part of something which is naturally, going to resist against an alien presence of a Jewish state within a territory that is historically and demographically not going to accept this. If I learned something from Nelson Mandela, I have learned that any deal that could survive should be just and should liberate the oppressed and the oppressors. And therefore, yes, I need also justice for the Israelis and the Jews. And I would like to have the same justice for the Palestinians who are living in that territory. When that is achieved, then a permanent deal could be established, and that will be the deal of the century, not this lousy, superficial, stupid one. Thank you very much.